Thanks for coming back for more pie, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the rear struts on a Gen 2 Prius, or the shocks, depending on which model you have. I decided to get the full assembly versions, that way I wouldn't have to compress the spring and put them on the new ones. This way I can just swap them out easy, so let's get to it. The top of the struts is hidden below the trim in the back of the car, so we're going to have to remove a lot of it to get access. I'm using a 10mm socket here. Once you lift up the battery trim cover, take note if any clips broke or got stuck down in the battery cover. I'm using panel removers that I got from Harbor Freight. It's a good idea to have extra Toyota trim connectors on hand in case you break or lose any. And remove the auxiliary battery cover. Same on the other side. This compartment has a 10mm plastic nut holding it down. Just get that in there, and the whole thing comes out. Peel off the weather stripping. Next thing is to loosen this panel here by the door. Now we can begin removing the side trim panels that are covering the struts with a 10mm socket. There we go. Now there are 4 panel connectors to be removed. That one broke, so I'll have to replace it. The second 2 are at the rear. Pop. Pop. Pop that back in place. And the 4th is up next to the seat. There we go. Careful when moving this panel around though, because there's not much slack to the light bulb. Now on the right side, there's a vent that goes to the battery, but it's only held in with a couple of panel connectors. Now if you want, you can remove this metal plate to get a little more access to the strut. But there's 7 bolts to be removed, and 2 of them were even covered up by the seat, so I had to take that off as well. There we go. There's the strut. You'll still need an extension to get access to these nuts, but it won't need to be as long now. Now that we have easy access to the strut, it's time to jack up the car. Let's pop on the parking brake. Now, some people recommend jacking up the axle before moving the strut, but I found this to be counterproductive because I ended up having to push the axle down to take the strut off. Now note that there is one 14mm bolt that you'll need to remove from the bottom here, but from the top you'll need to remove the 2 other smaller nuts. This time they're 12mm. With that metal plate gone, I was able to break this nut with just one basic extension. On the other side, I left the metal plate on, but I was able to access them with 2 extensions. And remember, don't try to remove the 3rd larger nut like I did. Oh my god. It is welded to the frame of the car. Pretty tight left to Lucy. Oh. The penetrating oil I sprayed on helped a lot too. Using a 19mm socket and some penetrating oil, I was able to get the last nut off the strut. Oh, there we go. There's a little washer. Oh, yeah! Yeah! Oh, it's like stuck on the axle. There we go. If you want to support anything with the jack, I'd recommend it would be the new strut while you screw it in. I found it was a much better idea to support the new strut rather than the axle of the car. Don't fully tighten these nuts just yet. Wait until you have the bottom of the strut connected first. Now that those bolts are in, we can get this. Push it away. Pull the axle down. And push it in. There we go. I also put a little anti-seize on both sides of the washer. Don't fully tighten this nut either. Wait until the car is fully down first. Wrench. Again, this last bolt is 14mm. Once all the bolts and nuts are in place, tighten them down to 59 foot-pounds, and on my torque wrench, that is just over 700 inches per pound. All right, pop, pop. Putting anti-seize on the drum brake is a good idea too. It's tough to get underneath the lowered car, but when you do, you can finally tighten the nut to 59 foot-pounds.
Oh, that's what I like to hear. Okay.
Once you have both sides done, you can start putting the inside of the car back together.
There. Okay, good enough. There we go. And then make sure there's still tab connectors down here.
Jeez.
So that about sums it up. I hope that this video was helpful for you guys, and I'll be making other tutorials as my Prius needs repairs as it ages. So yeah, thanks for watching.